In today's video, we're going to go over how to make a superclass and subclasses. Now, superclasses are basically classes that pass their attributes to subclasses that then can also mutate the attributes within those classes and add more attributes. In this case, we're going to go over a simple example of vehicles. You have multiple types of vehicles. You have cars, SUVs, and trucks. You can have semi trucks, what have you. But each one of those types of vehicles have different attributes that are unique to those vehicles. So let's get right to creating the class. Right. So what we're going to do is make a class named vehicles. Right. And we're going to, or sorry, a class named vehicles, and we're going to make within that class um, the a class named automobiles or automobile. And we're going to initialize the class with an initialization method that accepts arguments for the make, the model, the mileage, and price. It initializes the data attributes and will have values within these. All right, so same way we normally do it, we'll define initialize self, and then we'll have a make, model, mileage, and price. And we'll initialize each one of these attributes. Make is equal to self dot make is equal to make, self dot model is equal to model, self dot mileage is equal to mileage, and self dot price is equal to price. And now we're going to make a method that's using the mutator attributes for the class's data attributes. So we'll go ahead and create def set make self make, and we'll set self dot underscore make is equal to make. And we'll do this for each one of these attributes of the automobile class. And I'll spare you guys the watching me type it all out. All right, now that we've created the mutators, now we're going to create the accessors for these data attributes, and we simply create that by making a value returning function. Say get make, and then self, and then return self dot underscore make. And we'll do that for each one of these attributes. And again, I'll spare you watching me type out all the rest of the 4 attributes. Okay, so now that we've created the accessors and we've completed the class automobiles, the superclass automobiles, we'll go ahead and make the subclasses cars and trucks. So let's go ahead and create a class. We'll call it car, and we'll access the attributes in automobile. And we'll initialize the class just like we initialize the automobile class with the initialization method. And in this, just like in automobile, we have a make, model, mileage, price, but then we want to also add in a unique attribute for cars. And let's just pick doors, right? And we'll just focus on doors for now. So here we called the superclass using the initialization function, and passed the arguments that are required, and we've added doors. So let's go ahead and initialize automobiles. And self, make, model, mileage, and price. And then we'll initialize the attribute that's unique to cars, doors. Just like with the previous superclass automobiles, we have to set the mutator and then assessor attributes as well. So now we've set the mutator class. We'll go ahead and set the assessor class. And notice how when I'm typing out the mutator class, I describe it as set that underscore doors. And then when I type out the the assessor class is get that underscore doors. And so we'll also return the value self dot underscore doors. And also, I just realized I messed up the indentation on these functions, so let's go ahead and set these correctly to be returned under the class, not the initialization function. So that makes the automobile, the car class takes in the automobile superclass, uses its attributes, adds in doors, along with the original attributes of the automobile class, and then it will add doors in to these attributes. So let's go ahead and set a truck class. So we'll go ahead and type in truck, and we'll call the automobile class. And we'll do the same initialization function, initialization method to get the attributes from automobile, calling all the original attributes, and then let's focus on drive type. And again, we have to initialize automobile class. And we'll call self, make, model, mileage, and price. And just like in the car class, we'll go ahead and set the drivetrain, or say drive type. And we've initialized that. And then let's go ahead and set the mutator. And then we'll go ahead and set the accessor, get underscore drive type. And we'll turn self.drive type. And so here we have two subclasses. One is a car and one is a truck. Both of them are automobiles, and they pull from the automobile superclass. And so these classes, car and truck, are subclasses, and the automobile class is the superclass, providing attributes for both of these classes, but both of these classes share similar attributes but are slightly different. One has an extra attribute of doors, and the other one is drive type. So now let's make a program or a function in a different program that calls on these subclasses and utilizes these attributes. And so we've created a file named car_demo, and we'll go ahead and import the class vehicles, right? And we'll define the main function, and we'll dump the attributes and characteristics of the vehicle classes, or the classes of vehicles within the vehicle class, under a variable named useCar, and we'll set it equal to vehicles dot car. And let's go ahead and define these attributes. We'll say the car is an Audi, and it's a 2007. We'll say it has 12,500 miles. The price, which is a little bit expensive for 2007, is $21,500. And we'll say that is a 4-door. So we want to go ahead and print each one of these attributes. We'll say make is useCar dot get make, which, if you remember, this is a value returning function inside of the car subclass of vehicles. So we'll go ahead and say get make, print say model, useCar dot get model, and then we'll also want to print the mileage price. And then finally, the doors, or we'll say number of doors. And that completes our main function. We'll call the main function, and we'll run car demo, and it prints out all the attributes of what we set the car, and what the car should be. It's Audi 2007, 12,500 miles. Price is 21,500, and number of doors is 4. And so this concludes the lesson on superclasses, subclasses, and inheritance.